Raw meat alert. I am about to show you a pot full of raw meat, so if you don't like that, skip this story. All right, I am making hot dog chili, and this is ground turkey and pork combined. 2 pounds of turkey, 1 pound of pork. The best way to do this that I've found, because I don't like chunky hot dog chili, is I'm adding a little oil because this is ground turkey breast. I need a little fat, you know. Just a little bit. I added some avocado oil. So I like my hot dog chili, like, I don't know what style it would be, like Boston, you know, like fine chili. So the best way I've learned from several people, like Alton Brown, Ina Garten, lots of people, is use a potato masher to combine your meat, season it with a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, very lightly at first, and then add some water right at the beginning. Very counterintuitive. And so for 3 pounds of meat, I'm going to start off with maybe a cup of water, and I'll go from there. I'm just using bottled water. And I'll use my potato masher again and see how it it had a chance to get into big crumbles. I'm going to smash that up again. I don't want big pieces of meat on my hot dog. I want my hot dog to be bigger than my chili, if that makes sense. So I'm going to continue to mash this up. Looks gross, doesn't it? Okay, I turned my heat down to low while I add my spices. I'm going to add the rest of this, another maybe, it's going to cook for 30 minutes or so. I'm going to eyeball all my spices at first. This is cumin. Focus. It's probably a tablespoon. Ancho chili powder. Probably a tablespoon. Chili powder. I always need more chili powder than what you think. I'm going to start off with 2 tablespoons. I learned in culinary school, you're not supposed to do what I'm doing right now. Why? Because when you turn out the bottle like that, there is a good chance all that powder all those spices are just going to dump right out. But I was trying to do it one-handed. That's dumb. I got my chili powder in there. This is smoked paprika. I'm also going to add some smoked black pepper in there, but I got to crush it up. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of mustard. And some ketchup. I got to open it. If I had Worcestershire sauce, I would add that too, but I don't. But I had a little bit of Firehouse daddle sauce, which is my favorite sub sauce. I put a little bit of water in it to just get all of it. So I'm going to add the rest of that. Lots of flavor there. All right, now I turn my heat up to medium, and I'm going to stir all this together. One other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is in culinary school, we were allowed to bring in some of our favorite utensils from, I'm probably going to add a little bit of cornstarch slurry to this to thicken up too. We were allowed to bring in our favorite tools from home, and I'm a big wooden spoon gal. That stems from my mom cooking with wooden spoons her whole life, and they couldn't stand it. And it's why? Because wooden spoons are huge harbors of bacteria, but only if you don't take care of your wooden spoons and don't wash them immediately after use. All right, I took the opportunity to break that meat up even more. See how it's smaller in size, and now I made it's up to a boil, made a cold cornstarch slurry, super smooth. So when you add a cornstarch slurry, you want to add a cold slurry into boiling liquid, really stirring as you go, but I'm going to add half this and see how thick it gets. That might be all I need. Probably going to add more water, to be honest. I might. It's already starting to thicken up. Magic of cornstarch slurry. All right, hot dog chili is supposed to be a little sweet, right? So I added a little after I tasted and figured out what it was missing. And I'm going to add the smoked black pepper at the end so that stands out a little bit. I added a little bit more ketchup, and I forgot I like a little bit of oregano in my hot dog chili just to give it a little bit of herbs. So there's my hot dog chili. It's always so stinking good. And see how thick it is? Cornstarch slurry, you won't know how thick it is until it kind of bubbles up a little bit, which this has been. And it'll thicken within the next 5-10 minutes, and this is done. And we're not eating till 5 or so. Also, if you're wondering why it's in a new pot, so I like to cook in this big pot because that was 3 pounds of meat, and the more surface area that you have, the more practical it is to cook like that. And now for maintenance mode, you just put it in a smaller, I think this is a 4-quart pot, put it in a smaller pot and keep an eye on it that way. And just if you were wondering what happened to the big pot, that's it. I remember the first time me and my mom watched Paula Deen fry hot dogs in butter and bacon fat. We were like, we couldn't believe our eyes. This was about 20 years ago. And while I don't subscribe to this all the time, every once in a while, what are you going to do? It's like a Big Mac nowadays. I have one maybe once a year. And so, it's one of those times. What are you going to do? This is a little bit of butter and avocado oil so the butter doesn't burn completely. And I'm just frying them on medium till they burn.